Do you know that myths can prevent you from achieving your dreams? Let us now debunk some of the myths that have been told about virtual assistants. Number one, you need to be tech savvy to start. This is a myth. This is falsehood because virtual assistants require or can get started with simple tools that are simple to learn. And to make things much easier, clients will provide training. If a client wants you to manage email, they want you to manage their inbox, they can train you on how to do it. If they want you to manage their calendar, they will guide you on how to do that so that you meet their requirements. So it is a myth. You don't need to know programming and all that technical stuff to be a virtual assistant. Then consistency is the key thing here. You need to be consistent. Consistency is more important than tech skills. But that's not the truth. The truth is that businesses are now hiring globally. Businesses or entrepreneurs are looking for diversity. Recently in the US, we had this big debate about diversity, equity, and inclusivity. There is value that people find in employees who are diverse. There is value in an employee from Africa. There is also value when it comes to gender. There's an employee who would prefer communicating with a female employee, and there's another one who will prefer communicating or working with a male employee. So there is that aspect of diversity when it comes to recruitment and selection of employees. So it is not true that clients will hire only from UK, USA, Australia, and these developed countries. Then the third myth, some people will tell you that the VA market is oversaturated. Like they usually say, YouTube is saturated, social media is saturated, TikTok is saturated. You'll hear those words from people who have maybe tried something and they got frustrated. Some people have tried virtual assistant work and they have not succeeded. They will discourage you. They will tell you that that thing is already saturated. They will tell you don't even try Upwork. They will tell you don't even try Fiverr. Indians are already there. Indians have dominated that industry. It is saturated. But the truth is that demand for virtual support is growing. Sorry for that disruption. In our country, Kenya, we have a problem of power disruption. So we continue. I'm sorry for the slight disruption. I had to switch to my backup because of power disruption. So we continue with the third myth. People will tell you that that industry is saturated. We have the Wahindis are all over, the Pakistan, the Bangladesh, the Filipinos have dominated that market. So don't try. But the truth of the matter is that the demand is growing. As more companies, more entrepreneurs become aware of virtual assistants, as more people become aware of the need to save costs, cutting down on costs of maintaining employees, virtual assistants will still remain on demand. And it's growing fast. The industry is growing fast because so many young people are learning tech skills. Mobiles are penetrating in even the remotest part of the world, and people are hungry for knowledge. Few people are getting hungry for remote work, and those who will have the necessary skills, virtual assistants who will have the necessary skills and can be trusted and can show professionalism, and they have the niche skills, are the ones who are going to stand out. So the market is not saturated. You just need to be creative enough to get clients. Then myth number 4, VA work doesn't pay well. People are telling you, or some people will start telling you that the pay is very little. Especially when you're starting out, you go to Upwork, and maybe you find clients who want to pay you $3 or $5 an hour. But how much will be paid depends on the type of work that you are doing. There is flexibility with virtual assistant work. We have virtual assistants, especially those who are working for email management. The work is considered to be simpler. For example, working for someone who is operating Airbnbs, you might only be required to schedule meetings, maybe manage the calendar. Now compare to a different virtual assistant who is maybe preparing medical reports, someone who is doing data entry, someone who is doing lead generation. Those two different tasks, they carry different value, and that's why we will have differences in terms of pay. So you will not be paid little, but you need to understand where there is value so that you can specialize and maximize on how much you earn. Furthermore, for you to maximize on the pay, you'll have to learn how to work with multiple clients. You have to be flexible to work with or to work on multiple projects, as this will help you increase your earnings. So the truth, beginners may start at a lower rate. For example, beginners may start with $3 to $5, that is US dollars. But with more skills, when you become a skilled virtual assistant, you learn things like project management. You learn how to use software tools like Trello and Asana. You become a very much valuable and highly paid virtual assistant. For example, if you land a client who is doing a project management, someone who has a project like a big construction project, the guy wants you to be preparing budgets. You prepare budgets in Excel, you prepare budgets in Google Sheets, and you are looking at the millions that these guys are doing. Maybe per week, they are handling millions of dollars, of millions of shillings. That particular project has high value, and chances of negotiating for a higher pay is also high because of the value you are giving that particular guy. Construction is not something easy. If you've ever done construction, you will realize how it is a headache to manage budgets. And when you find someone who can be doing that work for you, they are preparing budgets, they are helping you track your expenses, your work becomes easier. You'll be able to achieve your project milestone within the required time, and you'll have less stress. So you have debunked that myth. Then myth number 5 is that if I don't get work quickly, if I don't get hired quickly, then I've failed. The truth of the matter is that success takes time. Virtual assistant is not a get quick rich scheme. You have to be patient enough, learn the necessary skills, the skills that will make you stand out from the rest of the people who are looking for work. Every VA will face rejection. You will make applications and people will reject you. So landing a client takes time, and you need the patience and perseverance. You need to be consistent in your application. For example, if you are relying on Upwork, you have to be consistent. You have to buy the connects. You have to keep on doing that repetitive work until you land a client. And in the process, you are also learning. You are also building your portfolio. Portfolio is very important. We will cover that aspect of building your portfolio and using the right tools that will make you be more confident in this part of the journey. Then, so don't quit. Even when you see that the going is getting tough, you're getting frustrated, you are getting disappointments, nobody's replying to your applications, don't give up. Focus on building your profile. Focus on training. Focus on learning new things. The world is changing very fast, especially in this age of AI. things are changing very fast, and employers are looking for people who can adapt easily to these technological changes. Then myth number 6, I can't become a VA because I don't have a degree. Some people feel that they need, this thing is for people with degrees. The truth of the matter is that you don't need a degree, but a degree can give you uh, an advantage maybe for those who want to do research, because before you acquire your degree, you go through what is called coursework. In most universities, assessment is done via essays and reports. So if you learn customers who are in academia or research, people who are doing research, for example, people who are doing research in places like Calro, Cambridge, these research institutions, we have people who are highly paid. And if you collaborate with them, you become their virtual assistants. You will be at an advantage if you have a degree. And if you understand things like data collection, proposal writing, thesis writing, all those things, you will be at an advantage, because some of those clients, they will require someone who can understand terminology. And if you have not achieved maybe a degree, it might be challenging. But overall, in general, clients come from different industries. Entrepreneurs are not just people who are educated, even those people who have not stepped in class, even people who have the lowest education are successful in life. They are running successful businesses. So when you come across someone who is successful in a business and maybe they've not gone to school, it doesn't mean that they will discriminate you because you have not gone to school, but they will hire you based on the value you provide. What can you do for them as a virtual assistant? So you don't need a degree to be hired as a virtual assistant. Then number 7, I am too old. Yes. Okay, thank you for the information. I think it was the disruption with the power. Okay, so maybe I'll just quickly go through myth number 4, which says that the work doesn't pay well. Some people will tell you that skilled VAs and or VAs are earning very little. Some people who maybe they started, they just attempted, they just scratched the surface, and they will tell you that $3 or $5 will not pay your bills. So you might start getting the discouragement at this level. But the truth of the matter is that there are differences. When you're starting out, perhaps you don't have diverse skills. You don't have so many skills or multiple skills. But as you go on learning, you become more competent, you become more competitive. And I think I gave a scenario where we have someone who is just starting out. They only know how to do email management. Perhaps with that skill alone, let's say you have email and calendar management, you might not attract a very good pay, because there are so many people who are competing for that. But if you differentiate and learn things like project management, you learn how to do data collection, data analysis, you learn how to do travel management. You know, people who are traveling are people who have money. You cannot be a traveler if you don't have money. So if you find CEOs, someone who is traveling from UK to Kenya, those guys are usually loaded and they pay good amounts of money. Somebody who can afford a flight of $2,000 or $3,000, they cannot pay you a small amount like someone who is only interested in you managing their emails, or a small business that's just starting out and they want you to manage their businesses. So the myth that VA doesn't pay well is not true, because we have different types of VAs who are in the medical field, VAs who are working with the maybe financial sector. They attract better pays than those that don't have those particular skills or specialization. Then the next myth, number 5, was that if I don't get hired quickly, then I've failed. The discouragement committee will try and tell you that, oh, I've started going for virtual training. They will tell you, that thing is not easy. That thing is, it will not be successful. They will tell you, you will get frustrated. You will send so many proposals on Upwork, they will not hire you. But the truth of the matter is that success takes time. What we are trying to teach people is the value of patience, consistency, and perseverance. So what you should focus on is building your profile. Start building your profile with small projects, projects that will display or will market your skills. Build a portfolio, and confidence will come when you have something that you have produced yourself. If you are in graphic design, you have your own YouTube templates or thumbnails that you produced. You have your own videos that you produced about yourself, or you have videos that you've produced you doing your virtual assistant work. This will give you more confidence, and it will make you become more resilient as you look for virtual assistant work. So don't feel that you are a failure if you don't get hired quickly. Then before we get to the too old, I can't become a VA because I don't have a degree. This is another myth that some people will use to intimidate others, that I don't have a degree, so I should not get into virtual assistant work. The truth of the matter is that people are hired not because of the academic certificates. People are hired because they have the required skills, they have the reliability, and they can solve problems. People are not hired because of grades. Whether you scored a D, whether you scored an E, whether you scored an A, it doesn't matter in virtual assistant work. We have people who never stepped to high school. We have people who never stepped in universities, but they can make YouTube videos. We have seen successful YouTubers who never stepped into university education. So you will be hired based on your skills, and your skills are what will provide value. Your ability to collect data, your ability to collect leads, your ability to manage calendar, your ability to do travel research, find cheap or business class flights for a client. That is what is going to get you hired. Then myth number 6, I'm too old to start working online. Now this one is absolutely false. Being too old doesn't mean that you can't work. You will be paid, you will be hired because of skills. We have people in their 50s, in their 60s, and they are able to do simple tasks that some people are not able to do. We have people in their 50s or 60s who can generate leads because they've learned AI tools. So don't see yourself that you are too old. When it comes to virtual or remote work, it is your ability to use the tools that will make the difference. So experience, discipline, and communication skills will make older virtual VAs to stand out. You know, people who are older have seen so much in life. They have the confidence to communicate. They know the value of discipline, and they can speak for themselves. Tasks that some people are not able to do. We have people in their 50s or 60s who can generate leads because they've learned AI tools. So don't see yourself that you are too old. When it comes to virtual or remote work, it is your ability to use the tools that will make it. Be in a Word document, and use your save the file as file name should be VA week 1 lesson 3. Then you can put underscore your last name. So name your document like that. Then you will submit through the link that I provided for assignments. The work should be in a Word document, and use your save the file as file name should be VA week